Talking change, talking all that's real, with Francis Pierre at the wheel. Turn it up, Real FM, ride the
Welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, welcome to our program On Target. Remember, as soon as that program starts, you could prepare to bowl the first ball. We are 94.9, that is We Noise FM in Brooklyn, New York. 91.9 and 91.5 Real FM. It's the St. George's area, you're more likely to get it on 91.5. We always encourage you to subscribe to the program, share the program, like the program. That is one of the ways you could be of assistance to us, by subscribing to the program. If you don't know how to subscribe, then ask. Don't afraid to ask the younger ones. Ask them. Some of you parents, you that buy the phone, so ask them. You know, we have to work with the younger ones where the technology is concerned. I have to be constantly seeking help from the younger one so I could demolate around the technology. And confidence in the economy, confidence in your country is an important thing. 3 years ago, a new government took the reign in Grenada. And the government met a pregnant treasury, over 500 million in it. That is significant because it's the first time in history a government took office and they did not say the treasury empty. They were so pleased and shocked that they that were the ones who claimed they had over 500 million in the treasury. They got $100 million from Saudi Arabia. The Hurricane Beryl passed, and we, the ordinary people, never knew that the government before took out insurance to act as a buffer zone against hurricane. $118 million from the Hurricane Fund. The government claimed that they received almost $1 billion thereabout from selling passports. In addition to that, the inland revenue was collecting more money than was projected for. The question we must ask, what went wrong? Well, in small economies, confidence is a very important part. Confidence plays a crucial role in economic stability and growth, acting as a leading indicator in influencing both consumer and business behavior. Now, when businessmen have confidence in the economy, they invest, they expand, they spend more money, they give incentives, they spend more money on advertising and marketing. When the consumer have confidence in the economy, they spend more money, they buy more, they feel happy, they feel confident. People from the diaspora tend to want to invest more. So confidence plays a crucial role. What has this government under NDC done to destroy confidence? One of the first things they did was to attack the elderly, the physically challenged, and disadvantaged children. They went after the seed program. The government raised the price of sugar, water, and electricity. You know, when I speak, I dare you. I challenge and I dare. Ask any economist in the world, in Grenada, any bank manager, manager of the credit union, or any businessman. If you raise electricity, water, and sugar, if there wouldn't be a corresponding increase in almost all other commodities. Electricity is energy. So if you raise the price of electricity, then everything you do that contributes, that have to use electricity, will raise. If you raise the price of water, it will raise. And if you raise the price of sugar, then anything you make with sugar, the price will raise. Your local confectionery industry will be stifled. So the government did not understand that confidence in an economy is ultimately one of the most important factors for economic growth. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
I heard somebody call yesterday and saying, shame on you. Big conference going ahead and you're on the station radio, whatever. I don't know when he tell you shame on you, I don't really know what he means. Did you sell car? Did you daily corruption that is going on in NDC? Did you say you're going to build 500 houses and swimming pool? Did you say you're going to make everybody permanent by the stroke of a pen? Because you're on the station letting us know the truth, they have a problem with that. Because the truth does hurt really bad. All what they're doing, nobody don't feel shame on you. Look at this and listen to the news from Guyana and Jamaica. The amount of crime what's going on there. And they don't set him free. But it's only here, all those things going ahead. And nobody doing nothing. The opposition is so quiet. In Jamaica, the opposition crazy. In Guyana, the opposition crazy. Only here, the opposition crazy. I don't know if they can throw anything on us in Grenada, yeah? Everybody must shut up. I mean, yes, and we're talking, but, oh gosh, nothing else happening, just that. Oh my.
Yes, scholar. The individual who called and said shame on me, I gave him an explanation yesterday already, but I'll give you another explanation. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
How are you doing today?
Great, man. Good, man.
And your listeners. Mr. Pierre, do you really think you could tell Grenadians how upside down our country is running today? Do you think you could tell them that? Not taking no side as a citizen of this country. Because, Mr. Pierre, we don't follow politics for politics' sake. It's who we like, who we know, and that would far from reaching our citizens as they watch our country diminish. Mr. Pierre. Hello, sir.
Yes, scholar.
As I say to you, you have to let the people of Grenada know politics, yes, of interest of our country. If Grenada gonna take politics serious to change our country, then we must start with comments to politics, because our politicians care for their gain, their position. Now they are our superstars, and we are the hard workers. Yeah, it's not to love in our country anymore. We've become plastic. We are not Grenadians anymore. We've been paid. As long as we eat better and drink better, we just care about another. So we come, sir. I'm just glad I get to say hello to you on your program. Respect.
Thank you very much, brother. Yes.
Respect.
I gave an example. I wanted to give another example. Let us suppose you have your son or your daughter, and they're very helpful to you. They're very helpful in the community. They're intelligent. They're working. They're doing well. But your son is thieving. Your son thieving. And it so happened now that the community is complaining. What you want to do when they tell you your son is thieving? You will say, my son going to church, my son helpful, all you only talking about the thieving, all you only speaking about how helpful he is. What you going to do when they say to you, your daughter is like a clothespin? Your daughter is hardworking. She's respectful. She's helpful. She's dedicated. But the community says she's like a clothespin. You wouldn't concern? You wouldn't call her and speak to her? And start to say you can't do that? Maybe you don't know how to start the approach. Then perhaps you have to start to tell her about socially and sexually transmitted disease. Maybe you have to tell your daughter, go on the internet and find 10 sexually transmitted disease. Maybe you have to tell her about herpes simplex and be careful where she puts your mouth, because you're going to get cancer in your throat. Would you say that my daughter is well behaved and nice? The public says she heard it, she like a clothespin. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, you there? So it's the same way. The NDC might be doing some things that is good, but the NDC is corrupt. The NDC dabbles in their cult. The NDC flaunt the law and they're raiding the GDP bank. The ministers and directors are obtaining money from the bank illegally. You must speak about that. You cannot say, well, Deacon doing something good, so don't speak about it. It's the same way like your daughter. You have to tell her you can't do that. You have to have morality. You have to have integrity. You can't open your leg every time you see a man. You can't do that. You have to tell her that. But if you say, well, you're nice and beautiful, so you could do what you want, how you going to be? The members and members of the NDC call me. NDC members call. You complaining that deacons do something good. Well, what we put a government there to do? To do good things. Take, for instance, the 1st of August. What deacon did there didn't make sense? Did the public call for the change? We have been celebrating that date, the first Monday in August, for decades. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, good evening, how are you? You okay?
Yes, caller, yeah.
Okay. I called to identify something with some neighbors around with the dogs, and they live in the yard and come and to in my yard and to clean it up. And I have a child, and they can't hear control the dog. I need the dogs to control.
Do you have dogs of your own?
I don't have one dog on my own.
And your place is not fenced?
And he don't fence.
Right. So perhaps you might have to start to feed these dogs.
Eh?
Feed the dogs. Take it from them. The dog might start to go back and mess in their yard.
When I feed them, you know, they still, when I feed them, they still come back and feed in the yard.
No, they're going to stop going your yard and they're going in somebody else's yard. That's one of the. Sometimes it don't work all the time, but that's a strategy.
According to when I practice it, when I practice in the grass, when I reach the under the shoes or the slippers, to one day.
Because that is a difficult thing.
That's where they control the dog.
Yeah. You could speak to the neighbors, but in my opinion, they wouldn't bother with you. They're going to say it's just dogs.
All right.
Yeah. This one is a little tough one to handle, but it's a common thing in the community that you find dogs and they go through all the neighbor yard. If your place is not fenced, one of the things you have to do, sometimes you have to stop throw food outside your door. Because the dogs may be coming in your yard for food. You're not feeding them, but you're throwing food outside of your yard. So they come in and searching for scrap. So your yard become the junkyard. So one strategy you could use is discourage the dogs from coming in your yard. And one of the things is never throw food outside of your house. Even the sink, put a sifter there so you collect the food. But then what are you going to do with the waste food? Because you have no dogs. And you have to prepare to take this waste food and bury it or go and put it in the toilet. Save this place. Flush it in the toilet. But once you are throwing food outside your window, the dog is smelling the food. And the dog is going to come. So that's one strategy. Another strategy you could use, get containers and start feeding the neighbor dog. And take it from them. Now the dogs will realize that is another home I have. Because I'm fed in containers. And you may give them food once a day. Because there is nothing in your yard for them to consume. You could speak to the neighbors, but that might not work. If you're on good terms with the neighbors, they could tell you it's just that. And if you're on bad terms with them, then it may not work. So neighbors have to try to live together. And it's difficult. You have to try to see how you can work it out. Maybe you get a piece of spade and clean out the dung and try to have a better relationship with your neighbor. Encourage your neighbors to cut down the amount of dogs that they have. Some people have too much dogs. They cannot manage them anymore. So maybe if the neighbor have 2 dogs, it's enough. But I know this story. Some neighborhood have 25 dogs. And none of them are making any serious attempt to feed those dogs. But in Grenada's context, again, I encourage members of the National Democratic Congress to call and justify things. We are asking a lot of questions. We're not getting answer. So even to change the date of the celebration from the first Monday in August, why was it necessary to change it? Nobody was asking for it. The people from Carriacou was comfortable with it. They had a big activity, regatta. The people from Grenville, St. Andrews, was comfortable with it. The people in St. Patrick's did not object. We have no objection from any cross-section of the people about the date. So why change it? The Prime Minister said that the NDC had power and they did not know how to use it. So the Prime Minister just using power. So you have a serious economic loss as a result of changing it from the first Monday of August. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Now, what I would say pertaining to changing the date, that is a blessing that the people of St. Andrews get for voting NDC. They want change. They didn't want to remain, like how it was. They want change. They vote for change. Anything they want, change they want. So change they get. So no need now to ballot now. Let us stay there and take it. Thank you.
Well, the NDC never tell people that was a problem. If they campaign on that issue, then people would have understand that. But the NDC deceive the people. They lie for the people and they deceive the people. And then the Prime Minister decided to sneak it in Parliament because he have the majority. The people from St. Andrews who was in the Parliament should object to it. Bearing in mind that the Prime Minister, the government would have passed it anyway because they have the majority. But the two ministers from St. Andrews should have object to it. Because they know it would adversely affect the Sedu Rainbow City Festival. And Sedu started as a result of the airport being moved from St. Andrews to St. George's, the business sector. I think Yolan Bain, Miss Benjamin, they are still alive. And Ramdani, it was the businessmen that came up with the initiative, Sheila George, and a number of other people, and started Sedu. And they had the necessary legislation to give Sedu teeth. So when the Prime Minister changed it, he put a damper on the economic activity. So it's not necessary. Easter was not always started on Easter Sunday, you know. They used to start Easter on a date. I think it was Pope Victor, somewhere in 189 or 289, that selected and decided that it would be Easter Sunday. Come on. Changing the date does not affect the significance of the activity. You could well dampen the activity as a result of that. Anytime the first fall on a Sunday, then the Monday would be a holiday. Paul Salaka, which normally be on Friday, is celebrated today because of the change in holiday. River Sally, I think, supposed to have the harvest today. I think River Sally is supposed to have his harvest today. Because of the fact they had to postpone the harvest because of the death of the Pope. Now the Prime Minister decided to ban amplified music. Now this Prime Minister, I say to you, we have to put this Prime Minister under scrutiny. There are a number of things he is doing that doesn't really make sense. And one have to ask, whose interest Deacon Mitchell is serving? I asked the question over 3 years now. Just under 3 years, not over. Yes, caller, welcome. Well, you can listen to us on the radio because you have a delayed broadcast. Caller, you gone? I asked the question under 3 years now. Whose interest Deacon serving? I noticed and I asked also, who is the third party that directing our foreign affairs? One have to be careful. It seems Deacon has some power or third party helping him make the decisions. We already know that the foreign minister is not so considered in that party. Deacon is the de facto foreign minister. Why is he cutting off Amplify music on a day you celebrating? That don't make sense. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, how are you?
Great man.
Mr. Pierre, I don't know, a lot of stupid is just going on and they go in parliament and they just start. The minister, the minister of agriculture, sister-in-law, is in charge of Sedu in St. Andrew, Sedu, And he sit down there with his tie over his shoulder and accept the fact that Emancipation Day is the first and have no Rainbow City again. You have 4 ministers of St. Andrew, and all of them just skin the kid, because they had teeth, they could smile. I don't understand what's going on in Grenada. And now people in the United States of America, where they're afraid to go outside because Donald Trump on the throat. I want them to send a lot of them back because I know they have nowhere to go. Have a good day.
Well, one have to, and that is, yes, caller, welcome.
Hello?
Yes, caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, afternoon. Yeah. The 1st of August, is it a holiday or a holy day?
It's a holiday.
Not a holiday.
It's a holiday. It's a holiday to celebrate the emancipation of slavery.
But you didn't tell us how to celebrate it.
Well, what the Prime Minister does was to ban Amplify music. So one have to wonder now, if the Prime Minister, I am worried that the Prime Minister might be supporting some occult power. I'm very suspicious, and I'm getting worried that this Prime Minister might be supporting some occult power. I saw the ease with which he dabbled in the occult. I saw the ease with which the Prime Minister is telling lies. These things worry me.
Yes. No. My thing is, if it's a holiday, there is a special way that Grenadians celebrate holiday. Like on Sunday we go to church or to mass or whatever. On Saturday we go to church and so on. There are certain things that we abstain from. Okay? This holiday, like I'm saying, you didn't tell us how we should be celebrated. So somebody from after the blue come up and tell you, watch, don't let it have no amplified music. Which sector of the community that dictated that to you, to the Prime Minister, that there should be no amplified music? I don't know. This part I want to know because it puzzles me now. Is it a holiday or holiday? This is the first one we're going into now. Is it a holiday or holiday? Can you ask somebody?
Well, it's not a. It's a holiday to celebrate. We used to celebrate Emancipation Day on the first Monday in August. We know it's the 1st of August, but it was celebrated in the first Monday in August. And that has been going on for decades, since the devil was a little boy. Nobody in Grenada, as far as I know, mounted any lobbying for that to change. And there was a number of activity entrenched with the first Monday in August. So the Prime Minister coming now and changing it without giving us a reason should make us curious. Now this Prime Minister is doing a number of things that could make individuals very curious about what he's doing. And that is one of them. He's banning Amplify music on that date. But you know that once we celebrating with one music, even the Bible tell you, blow the trumpet loud.
Yeah.
So In Grenada, celebration, since Amplify Music come on board, we have been using Amplify Music to, how do you tell the church they must not have Amplify Music? Somebody want to celebrate a birthday party, they must not have Amplify Music. The shops that have karaoke. So this is why I speak about confidence. These activities are killing economic activity in the country, and it dampens confidence.
The car passed yesterday morning close to my house and almost shaking my house with the amplified music in the car.
Well, this you're going to find individuals who have the car playing the music, and they would ignore. Then you send police behind them, and you continue to make criminals. The Prime Minister of Grenada, the time has come. There are individuals who it makes no sense you staying quiet anymore. This Prime Minister is either guided by some occult forces, some third party, or the Prime Minister is under some mind altering substance. The things that he is doing, he is not advancing justification for it, and it's against simple logic.
It's against the community too. The community doesn't need that.
Well, you're pushing people to break the law. The Prime Minister incited violence in the country. You know? And those individuals who trying to defend the Prime Minister, they have to bury their face on social media. You know? Some of them shame to expose the face.
Man.
So the question is, what is going on in the country? You see how the Prime Minister tried.
There should be no amplified music. They call him and tell him that, apparently. And he dictate no amplified music. And many other things that he'll be stepping into with just now.
Well, you don't see how he's sneaking the abortion law, what I call the law to facilitate abortion and transgender. That is what this sex law, that is the road to it. You know. He's sneaking it.
Well, I was thinking differently.
And you see how he put the two bills together. He put the two bills together to go through all the stages one time, you know. He sneak it in. He hope.
Yeah.
Because there was no call for it. People would not bother. The Prime Minister, this bill is to facilitate the process of abortion and transgender and liberalize sexual activity among the young people. This could well be
that's why he brought the two young people with him.
The road to occultism.
Maybe that's why he brought the two young people with him when he's going in Africa last time. Those two young people I was closely at.
When he's sneaking in Africa.
Anyway, I'm stepping off.
Yes, Scholar. We have to be worried. There is a number of things. Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, Scholar.
Listening to the conversation, it seems as though we're living in the period of Pharaoh. It seems as though we're living in the period of Pharaoh. But it won't be long. God would handle the situation. As Christians, those of us, all we have to do is pray and wait. Because God delivered the Israelites from Pharaoh.
After 400 years?
Yes.
Yes, sometimes your wait could be longer than you
believe. And it's the same way. Pharaoh used to kill the firstborn of the Egyptians. Remember what God did? Do unto others as you would like them do unto you. The firstborn of he used to kill the firstborn of the Israelites. But the firstborn of every one of the Egyptians was killed just the same. So all we have to do is to study the word and look at what is going on in our country. Study the word and look at what you, especially read Exodus. And we will see exactly that what we're living in. It's a Pharaoh we have ruling. Thank you.
Yeah, I believe we have the power to influence the direction the government takes. And from day one, I have been advocating. When I see some things, I went to my comrade Ray. He remind me that I've done. So I understand that because I've never tried to promote certification or intelligence among these scholars. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Yes. I think it is time that Grenadians wake up and see what is happening in this country. When we have a situation whereby the Prime Minister would ban amplified music, imagine celebrating emancipation. That means that what he is doing is reintroducing slavery, because the first thing is to start taking away people's rights. Look at what they are trying to do with the Constitution. They start tampering with the Constitution.
They're tampering with it.
Yeah, so again, when they tamper with the Constitution, then what they will do, they will put in draconian laws whereby man could dress with skirt and upstairs shoe and you can't open your mouth and say nothing.
Yeah, freedom of expression.
Right? Sex change. And look the hospital that is building.
Yeah.
Right, Mr. Pierre? I think that that Prime Minister might end up being the first patient in that hospital. And when he come out from that hospital, Grenadians will be asking, Deacon, is that you? Deacon, is that you? Deacon, is that you? Have a good day, sir.
Yeah, you see, sometimes we have to be careful because these things don't happen overnight. You watch the writing on the wall. And you see the writing on the wall in Grenada. We have a prime minister that is basically a fake. He tells lies at every opportunity he gets. He makes some wild, outrageous promise. And when he is reminded about it, he tells lies about it. He deceives people at all levels, including the children of Christoph. He sneaks into country. He flaunts the law of the Grenada Development Bank to enrich members of his team and directors and friends. When Lacret, who we call now the whistleblower, was thrown out of cabinet, the government did it in a dramatic way to serve as a lesson to the other ministers what is going to happen to them. The prime minister gives them money so they will shut their mouth and behave themselves. The prime minister consider it as paying money for good relationship. We interpret it to be bribery. You heard the cry from Ron that he got a gracious offer because Ron decided he ain't going quietly. So $100,000 we heard was given to him. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Sir Pierre.
Yes, scholar.
Good afternoon. Sir Pierre, you tell Caldican.
No color. And make that me number one mission. I ain't tired at all. It is only because the program is shut.
Mr. Pierre, you can't have your mind night and day like you're sleeping with him on your mind.
Yes, because he control policy. You remember what happened to us in the revolution? Remember how Maurice Bishop jailed 3,000 Grenadians?
Bishop is the right man for all you.
You feel he must jail more?
You ain't tell nobody. You ain't tell nobody.
Well, let's see Ewart Lane and them coming back.
You're jail.
You got
Simon will get to jail from Andy. I don't want that. Let me tell you something now. If this hospital come arise, that will be the greatest thing ever passed.
No color, that one good. The hospital, remember, Deacon says for research, teaching, and tourism. What part we play in it? They be in a hospital for research,
Well, that's
a
good.
teaching hospital. So we become guinea pigs. This hospital is not for the ordinary man.
Well, you can't see your brain, you can't see nothing, so all what you see is dumb. So I expect better from you. Listen to me now. If and when this hospital come alive, no Grenadian will be going to America again for surgery and all this kind of thing. That will be cut out. Bam! You're going right there because it is in your backyard, in your yard. So you don't worry about it. When this hospital come on stream, every surgery any Grenadian want, they can be the greatest thing happen. So Pierre, you over the last 3 days, you ever witness anything like that in Grenada before in your whole life? A conference like that? Nobody in the history of Grenada never hosted a great conference in this country. Modifying the whole system. We're going back to Africa. That's our last.
But you want to go back in Africa, Color?
Yes.
You want to go back in Africa?
Yes.
But if you want to go, you could go. You forget Liberia, Color. Liberia gave us land and they buy boat to bring back people in Africa and the Marcus Garvey. And just a few that go.
We're going back in Africa.
And some that go come back.
Africa is the motherland. And we're praising them. They're the fastest growing economy in the world.
So Color, you don't care about corruption in GDP Bank?
What corruption are you talking about?
Color, what's about what?
Mr. Pierre,
Do you agree? Color.
What about corruption? NLP is the most.
Color, we're talking about corruption in GDP Bank.
You talking about corruption in GDP?
You don't care about the corruption in GDP Bank?
No corruption.
What's about the treatment of LACO in the corruption in National Lottery?
LACO getting in lawsuit just now. The man might go and say that his husband and wife thing, they go give me the backside. You better stand up.
So you against LACO for informing the Prime Minister of the corruption in Lotto?
When you don't like the people who respect.
You just supposed to.
I have no evidence of no corruption in this country.
Well, I'm telling you, I know you don't have evidence. Why do you think I'm telling you? I'm telling you because I know you don't have.
You have evidence?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
You have evidence?
Yeah.
Well, go and bring it to the police and make the arrest, man.
Well, you know, here, I on the radio telling Deacon and the Integrity Commission, you'll go to this police and them. What's wrong with you?
If you don't have evidence, shut your mouth because I will jail you.
All right, thank you, Colin.
Mr. Pierre.
Thank you,
Colin. Mr. Pierre, when this has come on stream, that will be the happiest day in Grenada. Mr. Pierre, the constitution thing. How keep behind them so wicked and bad?
You gone on Keith Mitchell again, we're talking about Deacon.
He was there to go ahead with it, he had with it. When he's in the parliament, they change his mind. I don't want those damn, what do you call it? We're going with it as a day. Yes, as a day. You don't need no constitution, nothing for it. Let me tell you something. That's one of the best things that happened in Grenada. We don't pledge no allegiance to no king and queen. If you want to pledge allegiance to a king, if you want to allegiance to a king, go ahead, Mr. Kingman. NMP look as they get none as white people now. All the president is king and queen. We don't want that in Grenada. Don't do that. You want to praise your king? Go and praise your king. That's your business up here.
All right, thank you, Colin. Yes, we have to prepare to discuss those issues. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. We lost that caller. We have to prepare to face the reality and discuss these issues. The time has come for us to seriously look at the Prime Minister we have. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, caller, welcome.
You must call Deacon because Deacon don't give you not make money. You have to call his name. No, you will never have to stop calling him. And that hospital they're looking for it, and that dead body, because Grenada are no stupid right now. People go sit down here and see trouble. When you're sick, you can go in a hospital. All what they're looking for is the big shot and the money. We don't want that. You have poor people in Grenada and rich people. So we can't fight this hospital. And we don't sitting down and let Deacon come back and roll us again. We don't want that. You have to go. Time to go. Later, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, when I come on radio and speak, I expect the personal attacks and I'm prepared for it. So I don't waste time bothering much about what happened to me unless I'm drawing a reference. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Precisely what people like this guy who just spoke there and others like him who has no conscience is hoping to happen in this country, where we would get tired of exposing the dotishness, the corruption, the stupidity, and the evil of this present administration. And let me remind this guy and whoever want to criticize me, I'm not here speaking on behalf of a political party. I don't belong to any political party. I'm an observer, an analyst of the situation and what is going on in this country. And I cannot conclude, as so much of them are doing, that this government is doing anything that really makes much sense. Now, relative to the hospital itself, I don't really have a problem in building a new hospital as a business proposal, which it seems to be. It's a business hospital, not a hospital for the locals and so on. It's a teaching hospital, which is continually referred to as a teaching hospital. Fine. Now, understand, it's an investment of whoever gave that $250 million. I'm not sure whether it is EC or US, but I've been hearing that this morning one of the callers to our program said it is US. So you're talking about over $700 million. Or thereabouts, maybe around $700 million in our EC money. Now, the thing is, I don't have a problem too much with being a hospital. But the hospital is supposed to be going in Coville, Caligini area. A prime agricultural land area. An area where the study and scientific research institution responsible for the production of food, increase sort of production of food actually too. So they have been experiments to see the best varieties and how you handle them to get maximum production. Now, given the crisis of the past 2 years since Ukraine was invaded, we see the danger a lot more relative to the issue of food security. Ukraine shut down, everything went up in the world. When it comes to food and nutrition, things become worse for a lot of people. A lot of people cannot buy what they were able to buy 2 years before the Ukraine crisis, the Ukraine-Russian crisis. That tells us that the food issue of food security is very critical. And you are taking prime land, moving away food farmers money, including the institution called Caddy. That's the best place you could build a hospital. And the hospital is basically inevitable because they're so smoothing for it. So there's no stopping of it. And you have a bully prime minister who's not going to even listen to anybody. So we expect it to happen. Now, the likelihood of it coming on stream and finishing before the 5 years up is a big question. And if Grenada want to make that mistake again, look, let's send these guys into office in this country. Woe beyond the Grenada. And it's not based on the hospital. There are a lot of other things that show the arrogance of this administration, especially the Prime Minister. And arrogance is something that the Almighty despise. Arrogance is a trait of the devil. And this guy has been perpetuating and promoting devil worship, devil everything. He has a job cabinet. He goes in and plays job in the street. And everything's happening for him. I heard something about what he did on all the boat, the cruising boat on him. I didn't see it myself. I never see it on social media yet. But I heard about it over and over. That's the kind of attitude this guy has. This guy listens to nobody. He's arrogant and he tries to identify with all the wrongs in this world. Pure and simple. I don't want to take the whole day, Mr. Pierre.
All right. Thank you, caller. We're going to take one more call as we come to the end. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. We lost that caller. We still have time, and we're going to take one more call, and we always invite members of the National Democratic Congress to call and to defend some of Deacon's position. Some of the things the most you could do is to talk about Keith Mitchell, who is the best leader that passed in Grenada and the Commonwealth. You know? Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, I call back on you again.
Yeah.
On this hospital issue, if this is not a crime, then it's wickedness. What Grenada need a hospital of the, hear the attitude behind it, tourism and research. So what they decide to not take man private and turn it into man private, you know, what are they research for? And we have so much of hospitals that don't have equipment and doesn't have medication, doesn't have staff. So that's not madness. Who thinking? What are we doing? Who the hospital for, Mr. Pierre?
Well, I don't know. It's for maybe them transgender and them, and for sexual liberalization. That is not for the ordinary man.
So, a lot of people go be coming to Grenada to have men go have the thing change to
maybe sex exchange and transgender.
Well, of course. Well, that could not be for us. Of course not. Because look at our population. Look at our hospital. Mr. Pierre, I've been to the hospital in Maribor and I was talking to a nurse one. Mr. Pierre, sometime in 6 days, only 2 babies born in Maribor hospital. And that was back in the time. Oh no. 4 Friday, sometime a week. So if we go build a hospital and pay that money for it, what do we expect from it? Are you going to make are you going to stimulate our economy? Maybe. Because you bring the people come and have the body altar. Mr. Pierre, have a nice day.
Yes, that is our last caller for the day, and the concern is that the Prime Minister and his team is not providing information for the public. And I say to the NDC, once you're not providing information, then it is fair game. We want to know. We'll be asking questions. We ask the question, what is the intention of the Prime Minister? And you notice we say in the Prime Minister, because we believe those ministers cannot squeak. They are properly paid, and Deacon action against Lacrette was to solve to tell them, if I could do Lacrette that, see what going to happen to you all. After he fired Lacrette in the cabinet, he had police escort Lacrette to go to his office and come back. He wanted to rub his face in the dust. So we are extremely concerned about where Deacon leading this country. We notice that Deacon is banning amplified music in our celebration. Even when we have Christmas, we have amplified music. When we have the majority of holidays in Grenada are Christian holidays. And the Christian don't ban amplified music. But we notice Deacon is banning amplified music. And Deacon is sneaking into Parliament bills to liberalize sexual activities. This one is a very dangerous one and borders on the realm of evil. Let me repeat that. Deacon is sneaking in fundamental bills in Parliament that seems to liberalize sexual activities, sexual decisions on production without any consultation. That borders on the realm of evil. Deacon flaunt the laws in the financial institution for the sole purpose of enriching those in his close confidence. We look at the incidents and the level of corruption that exists in this country. We have never seen that before. Not even in the revolution. You hear me speak about the revolution, and you hear me speak about the level of violence involved. But you never hear me speak about corruption. The level of corruption that is existing in Grenada today, we have never ever seen that. Not only coming from the cry of those who seems or appear to be against Deacon and his gang, but even from within. The Minister of Finance said he don't even want to speak about it. Another minister say it's a disaster. The Minister of Legal Affairs say we're going to seriously affect this economy. And when she finds serious wasn't serious enough, she said irreparable damage. We look at the government inciting violence in the country. The Prime Minister of Grenada, Deacon Mitchell, has been inciting violence in the country. The Minister of Legal Affairs and Labor are doing the same thing. They are well supported by Tevin Anjo and the sistering from St. John. We observe the constant dabbling in the occult. Now, how could we continue with that? We saw the regularity and the compulsive nature of telling lies. Now, when a prime minister is lying like that, you see, it's not one issue. If it's only one or two issues, it's a series of issues that mark this individual. And the ministers are quiet because they've been given money for encouragement. We're very happy to be with you today, and we always highly appreciate and welcome your support. And we always dare and challenge those who disagree with us. Let us have a discussion. We are firmly, we verily believe that we could work to make this country better. Remember to subscribe, like, and share our program. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre.